Hey there, car enthusiasts and DIY mechanics. Today, I'll be working on this Toyota Venza's spark plugs. Now, this is a 6-cylinder engine. However, it's a similar process for many Toyota and Lexus vehicles with a similar engine type. So, without further ado, let's get to it.
First, I'm going to start by taking off these vacuum hoses around this airbox. Next, loosen these two bolts on the intake tube and remove this vacuum tube. I'm going to use this rivet removal tool throughout the video to help me detach most of the vacuum hoses. As you see here, it's pretty easy to use and help accelerate the process. Remove this mass airflow sensor connector. Remove this clip attached to this air tube.
Detach the intake tube from the car.
Now using a small plier, just gonna remove this two hose, that one, and disconnect the harness connector.
Note, by doing this way, you don't have to remove the throttle body, because if you remove the throttle body, it's one more step added, and you'll also need to replace the throttle gasket seal as well. So, to save time and money, I'll just remove the coolant hose here. So, to remove these coolant hoses, using a plier, clamp onto it and give it a gentle twist to break loose, then just pull it out.
So break loose, and then you just unplug them. It's gonna be a little bit of antifreeze coming out, but don't worry about it. Remove this, then we're going to remove this connector in the back. Now I'm going to remove this hose right here using this. Alright. There are two 12mm bolts that are very complicated to get to, one on the driver's side and the other on the passenger side. So here I'm using a 3-way flexible ratchet with a 12mm socket to try and get the hard to reach bolts out. Okay, since I broke the bolt loose already, I'm having a hard time trying to unscrew the bolts with a ratchet. So I'm going to use this hand twist adapter to try and unscrew it by hand.
Here we go. That's the bolt. See that? Now we're gonna do it to the other side right here. The same bolt.
Since this is a very tight space here, I'm going to remove this and push this out of the way and make rooms for my hand to reach to the back here. So now, as you can see, there's more room for my hands to reach out to the back, and I can feel there's a bolt back there. To demonstrate where the bolt is, I'm using my phone's camera, and as you can see that the bolt is at an angle where it's very complicated to get to. Again, I'm going to attempt to remove by using this flexible ratchet and a 12mm socket. Now, this space is very tight, so I'm gonna have to remove this cover right here. But first I gotta take out the wiper blade. To take it off, sometimes it was stuck in there pretty tight. So what you want to do is push this down a couple of times, and then it should become loose. Just take it out. Now I'm just gonna release this clip. They're plastic, so just twist them off. Same thing with this side.
Now, there are a few tabs under this cover that are holding this plastic cover. As you can see here, just use a flat screw and gently push the tab and pull the cover up. Next, I'm going to remove this wiper motor assembly using a 10mm socket. There's a rubber grommet attached to the motor under there. So to get it off, you're going to pull this towards the passenger side and out, and disconnect the harness connector here.
I'm gonna unclip this using a clip removal. We're gonna remove this clip right here. Set this to the side. Now there's 4 of these nuts right here that connects to the struts. There's 2 on this side and 2 on that side. I'm going to use a 15mm socket. I'm going to take these clips off. First we're going to unplug this.
Now, there's 4 10mm bolts that are holding this metal trim base that you need to take it off.
The bolt is under right here. I took out this side already, but it would be a lot easier if you take this whole entire thing off. And here's the other bolts right there. Now the bolt to the back is a 12 millimeter. We're gonna use the swivel socket. There we go. This is the pin right here. So now to remove this plenum, there's two 10 millimeter nuts, one on each side, one right here and one on the other side. Also there's 4 Allen wrench bolts right here. There's 2 here and 2 right there. There you go. We're gonna take off this hose to the brake booster right here. We're gonna remove this bracket right here. Connects it to the throttle. They should come off. You see that bolt earlier? I was down like this on the bottom, so that's why it's hard to get to. And in order for you to reach to the back like that, you have to remove this top right here. Same thing with the other bolts. As you can see, it's on the side like that, and you have to reach to the right side where the throttle is. Now we're just gonna inspect, and there's the coil. I'm just gonna remove those plugs, those connectors. It's 1, 2, and 3. So before I even work on those, I'm gonna put a rag on top of this so nothing can get inside.
From here, you just unbolt these 10 millimeter bolts that are securing the coil and pull the plug out. But here's the problem though. With this harness connector, this tab right here is so brittle that when you press on it, it will just break on you. Before you change the spark plug on this car, it's a good idea to buy extra harness connectors just to have on hand in case you break this tab.
This part is very brittle. If you press on it, there's a chance that you're gonna break this. So what you're gonna do is using a flathead, carefully lift this and wiggle this and pull it out. See it? Now you're gonna do this to all of this, including the back one. Now, once this is unplugged, unscrew these 10 millimeter bolts. and just pull the coil out, just like so. Inspect your coil. Now we're gonna use a 5/8 socket, spark plug socket, to remove the spark plugs.
So, this is my first time trying out this ruthenium spark plug. Supposedly, they are more durable, ignite better, and overall more efficient than the other one like iridium, platinum, copper, or nickel. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Now, these spark plugs I got here came already pre-gap. There's no further gapping needed.
Do it by hand first. So now you're gonna torque this to 13 foot-pounds. Good. Push your coils back. Bolts in. You're gonna torque this down to 7 foot-pounds. Good. So you're just gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 more. So to remove this harness connector, they're very brittle. All you gotta do is press right here and pull it out. But a lot of time it's kind of hard to press it. When you press it, you can hear that click. It's brittle. So here, I already broke this, but I got replacements for that already. If it's too hard, you could remove these bolts right here. There's 3 bolts, 1, 2, 3, and push it out to make it easier access to this. As you can see, it's very brittle, and I knew this is gonna happen, so I bought the extra harness connector already. I'll show you how to connect those once I take this coiled off and change the spark plugs. Same thing like the front. After you take off the harness connectors, 10mm bolts right here. Of course, this bracket is right there. It blocks my way, so all you gotta do is take this bolt off. I actually take that bolt and this bolt off as well. So now I'm just gonna take that 10mm bolt, inspect it, of course, and we're gonna use our 5/8 spark plug removal tool. There it goes. As you can see, it needs to be changed. So now we're gonna torque it down to 13 foot-pounds. There you go. Just gonna put back the coil. And I'll show you how to replace this once I'm done with those two. It's really easy. Okay, now I'm actually gonna change all three of the plugs here because they're pretty brittle, and I broke all three of them. So I'll show you how to do it once I'm done with the spark plug change. Take off that bolt already. I'm gonna pull this out. You could swivel it, and we're gonna go in down here. Looks like it's in there. You can also take this off. There's two 10mm nuts right here. There's one on the top and one on the bottom. And of course, you want to match them. It looks similar. Check the coil, it looks good. You can take this off. So this thing is blocking the coils to come out, so I'm gonna need to take that connector off. So here's the new connectors. I got a pack of 4 of this. They're pretty cheap, so we're gonna replace the back. We're gonna replace these back connectors, all 3 of this, because I broke all 3 of them. You can see here, this little clip or the tab right here, it's broken off. You can try to be very careful, but I think, in my opinion, it doesn't matter how careful you are, it's still gonna break, so might as well change it, and it'll fit perfectly too. See, all you gotta do is connect them, splice them and connect them. Before you do that, working with some wires, you wanted to remove the negative side of your battery. There we go. Alright, so now I'm gonna cut this one by one, and I'm gonna attach to this new connectors right here. So, but before I do that, I'm gonna cut this right in the center, so that way it give me more room to work with. So he's gonna strip this off. So the way that go is we're gonna match them like that. See where the tab is right here. So we're gonna cut this wire and attach to this one right here. I have some solder and cell connectors that I have before, so I'm just gonna use this. This is what they look like. They have little solder in the middle, so when you connect the wires, they could solder together by applying some
heat to it. So I'm just gonna put this in there first. Alright, on all 4 of them. So I got all 4 of them in there. Now we're just gonna splice this and connect them. Alright, so we're gonna do this corner one first. Gonna cut this. We're gonna use our wire stripper to strip this. There we go. All right, so we're just gonna attach this. So this one is the black one. Using a lighter, I'm gonna shrink wrap that. So that one is this one.
So now you're just gonna do that one by one until you finish all 4 wires.
Okay, so this one looks good. We're just gonna double check our solder. Yeah, it's in there. Everything looks good. All right, now it's all done. So I'm just gonna use a electrical tape to insulate them. Now we're gonna do it to this one. All right, everything is done. I insulated the wires with some electrical tapes. So now we're just gonna connect them. There we go. We got all 3 of them connected. Double check everything. Now we're just gonna bolt this back. Put this back. Now we're gonna put the stubborn bracket back. Now you have to change this
seals out. Got some Velcro. Make sure they're in tight, otherwise you're gonna have a vacuum leak. Good. Now, just put your 2 bolts. Remember this hard bolt that go on each side. Now we're gonna put the 2 mounting nuts to the side. So now we're just gonna connect these 2 hoses to the throttle body. And remember our bracket. Throttle body connector.
Now carefully putting your air box and intake back and reconnect all the vacuum hoses and electrical connectors.
Now just connect all your hoses. So this one goes up here. Connect your half sensor.
Now, carefully putting back this metal base trim and tightening down the bolts.
So this is going to be torqued down to 66 foot-pound.
Now slide in the wiper motor assembly.
That's it. So now we're just gonna bolt this down. I'm gonna put back the wire connector for the wiper motor. Now we're gonna reconnect the windshield defrost connector.
Reattach the plastic cowl cover. Putting back and bolted down the 2 wiper arms for the driver and passenger side.
Reconnect the battery.
And there you have it, guys. If this video was helpful, please give it a like, drop a comment, and subscribe to support the channel. Explore this playlist right here for more DIY and car maintenance. Until next time, happy driving and keep your engine running strong.